www.eslgaming.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Pro League Matchday 5, Season 4. G2 up against EnVyUs in our first matchup of the day. Pete, blockbuster train encounter going down to the wire, 16-14 in the end there to EnVyUs, or should I say Team Apex. He was absolutely on fire in that instance.
Was.
We're in for a stellar second map, if not only for the fact that we're going to be seeing Nuke, but we're going to be seeing these two teams duking it out once again.
Absolutely, and it was, as you said, just a stunning performance from Apex that was able to lift them, EnVyUs, over the line on their map choice. And I don't think that they were comfortable on their map choice at all. I think that it was definitely a situation where they knew they were in for it when the game started, and it was very to and fro from the word go. There wasn't a big lead that was squandered or anything like that. It was a bit of tic-tac-toe all the way through, and in the end, EnVyUs did enough on their map pick, but I think G2 here will be very confident on their map pick. The likes of Scream and also Shocks really slipping into their comfort zone on their map choice. I think they should take care of business and square this up 1-1.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting encounter. I think the difference, too, between the two teams, at least from what I noticed in terms of train, was the fact that G2 were a little bit more execute-heavy on their T side on train, whereas EnVyUs were very much not as rigidly structured. They were very tactical in the way that they approached things. So essentially they were compressing bomb sites, squeezing bomb sites from certain choke points with the timing element, but not necessarily throwing the smokes or the flashes to get themselves in position. It was very very much team-based and less on that set execute style.
I think when G2 ran out of steam in the back half of train, it was because the EnVyUs guys had a really solid read on what they were doing, and as you said, they were very execute-heavy and strat-based, and when that happens, and your in-game lead is on for EnVyUs, and they're booking it, and they're pushing it, and they're, I guess, taking the gun battles that they want to take and playing a very, wouldn't say a counteractive style, but they pretty much know what's coming once the execute starts, and they're well across it, so it's suited the players from EnVyUs that it sort of got drawn into that strategical battle towards the end because their CT side ended up holding. I think that if it had been a few more smokes, random pushes from G2, they might have had a little bit more success picking apart the defense of EnVyUs, and that's exactly what EnVyUs did to G2. They got Apex out on that bomb site train, outside bomb site a lot, and he was able to wreak havoc there.
Yeah, I like the tempo changes too from G2. I think they were quite a few times actually caught EnVyUs off guard. I'm interested to see how that transfers over to a map now like Nuke, because I think in days gone by, Nuke itself was quite execute heavy for at least a T side.
Yep.
And I'm interested to see what tactical approach they actually bring to this map, just because they are actually the ones picking this map. So G2, this is their map pick.
Yep.
They've got to have something up their sleeve.
They do, and I guess historically, Nuke's been a very one-sided affair on the CT side, but with all the recent changes and the re-release, the re-release of the map in its newest and final form, I think like Super Saiyan 6 for Nuke, something like that. They just put a whole bunch of bright yellow around and
took away some of the frames.
Took away some of the frames, but look, the new map design really allows for more flexible play from the terrorists. It gives them more options outside especially. It does allow for a high level of CT-sided play. Lots of retaking stuff, lots of teamwork positioning. Communication is so crucial on Nuke. If players are getting lost through the vents or the back stairs and you don't keep track of the whereabouts of everyone at all times, that one player can end up doing a lot of damage and taking out 2 or 3 CT players very, very quickly. So it is a very communication-heavy map, which may suit EnVyUs towards their CT side, but I mean, I think G2 should have enough here to get home on their map. Yep.
I mean, on each different map, there are certain areas of the map, certain territories that I guess would be of contest, which would be of great value to the Ts. I mean, on train, I feel as though it's brown halls. Yep. Where do you feel as though the Ts really need to control on Nuke? Do you feel as though outside is the key to a successful T side on Nuke?
I think so. I think it is, but ultimately, the ramps room is also a second-tier lobby. So if you're effective at taking outside and also taking control of that ramps room as terrorist, it essentially widens your base of attack and makes almost the CTs forced to turtle back into the bomb sites. So yeah, it'll be ramps and outside.
And I will just cut you off there because we are going live into the pistol round here. So G2 have actually got themselves onto the CT side on their map pick.
Absolutely here, and we've got the G2 side, which of course everyone knows as Body, Scream, Smith, Shocks, and RPK taking on Team EnVyUs, Kenny S, NBK, Happy, Devil, and Apex, who's already gone down. Shocks, lovely opening flag of the pistol. He'll get one, he'll get two. Kenny get three? No, Devil able to trade out there, and he gets double of his own. Back and forward stuff here from EnVyUs to be expected against G2, and now it's a 2 versus 2, but all these players are just fighting a topside skirmish for the ages, but the bomb has actually dropped down the vent. Body should fire and find the player in the vent. Happy, and he does. That could be round changing there. Happy needed to find the kill.
Yeah, that bomb going down in the vent has made things really difficult. Now back down to a 1 versus 1. RPK up against Devil. Devil will be going straight for that plant, leaving RPK in the upper bomb site. So Devil, plenty of time to find himself a hiding spot. Has actually faked out to the second orange door and will just sit in the corner. So 1 versus 1.
And RPK will spot out the line, gets a lot of damage off, but it's not over till it's over here. Devil dancing around, but the Devil can't dance well enough, and he'll go down. RPK gets the kill. Huge contribution from Devil, though. Picks up a triple, but the G2 defense inevitably comes through. EnVyUs goes down for G2, and we have the opening round for G2 on their map pick, so good start for them.
Did come down to a 1 versus 1 though, but it did look quite hairy there for EnVyUs in many instances, so I think they did well in lieu of some handiwork there from Devil. So he was able to at least get them a plant in that round, force it down to a 1 versus 1 after picking up the triple. So boding quite well for EnVyUs already, but so you can see the T side. Kenny S straight down that vent there. They're going straight for the plant. They're not messing about. He's going to try and get that plant straight away, and that silo underneath should allow him to do so.
Great individual play there from Kenny S. He had the front spawn, he got the bomb, and now it's going to be very quickly. As you said here, as Devil picks up 2 more kills, make that 3 more kills. Devil going absolutely crazy here in the opening stages for EnVyUs on this second. He's already got what appears to be 5 kills, or 6 kills in 2 rounds, neither of which it looks as though the terrorists will win, but Body needs to get a move along, and Smiths won't necessarily be able to get this one. The time is running low, and Devil picks up a quad. Could even be a team down if he can find Body in the end, but what a special round there for Devil. He does pick up the ace. Stunning, stellar performance there from Devil, and a complete mystery how he finds 5 kills there with just a P250. Was the work of Kenny S combined with the topside hit, but geez, he's done well.
Well, Kenny S straight away down that vent, immediately putting pressure on the CT side. So the bomb had been planted, but first of all, they had to deal with the Ts swarming into that that top bomb site. So great work there from EnVyUs to pick up the bomb plant and then actually pick up all the remaining frags as well through Devil. So he's already off to a bit of a, I guess a bit of a wild one, having picked up 3 on the pistol there and picking up the ace again. So putting G2 on pistols. Scream actually holding the key to this round. He's got a flash and a grenade, but he's held himself outside, I believe, or should I say in the deep lying part of ramps. He'll be relying on information from Body there. Grenade doesn't quite find its mark though.
No, it doesn't, and that's the sort of round if you're G2 that really can break you. Full save round for the terrorists. They know it. Everyone knows it. You can give up the bomb plan to Kenny. You can admit to yourself that he just had a great piece of movement down the vent, got the bomb down, but you can't go on to lose the round and still expect to push forward if you're going to lose those sorts of rounds. So they're going to have to clean that up, but right now it's EnVyUs on the cleanup duties, and it will just be RPK left to try and get this one back for his team. It does get one. It could be interesting, but Kenny is there to mop up the final flag. 2-1 to EnVyUs. An unexpected win has now propelled them into not just the leading score 2-1, but a fantastic financial position at the start of their T slide, which is great to see.
Yeah, some forced pistols there for G2. Picked up a few frags, but not really enough to damage the T side juggernaut at the moment. Kenny S picking up that AWP quite early on in the picture. G2 still on that pistol, so this hopefully bodes well for Kenny. He doesn't lose that AWP, but you can see now EnVyUs just taking control of outside. Kenny S has found 1 frag already, but Shocks with that 1D. Just puts Apex 6 feet under. Devil's able to find the reply, but they've got control of outside here, EnVyUs, using those rifles and that range to their advantage. As you can see, though, G2 content to hold in the sights.
Devil and Apex here have really come to play. Of course, Apex had that very spectacular first match. And now will be Devil really putting the acid on G2 here and making them up their game, because right now Devil's gone completely crazy with his aim, and he's picking apart the G2 defense. So G2 Esports are going to have to lift their game, Jim. They're going to have to find something inside there and just get themselves motivated to get themselves into this series, because right now it's dropping before their very eyes.
And RPK drops into the vent there and also drops straight into the crosshair of Happy. And we now see Shocks looking through the doors here. He might be able to catch one of EnVyUs out, but he's just biding his time. Does catch Kenny out, so that AWP has been taken down, traded immediately by MBK, and Body on 5 HP. We're just trying to see whether or not he can scavenge a gun and take it into the next round. Happy there. Comes a little bit of a love tap from his teammate, and probably won't be too happy about that. In the end, Body just resigned to trying to get an exit frag if he can, but EnVyUs have done enough to secure that round. Kenny S did lose that AWP, so at least they're taking an AK out of the hands of EnVyUs, but they're piling the rounds on the board here at the moment, EnVyUs, and expect a gun round to come out from G2.
Yeah, bit of a random decision there by Shocks. I'm not sure quite what he was trying to achieve there with that AK in the lower part of the map. He definitely could have gone for a save there and had that at his disposal. I know they were moving into a gun round on their CT side, so it wasn't crucial. It wasn't game-changing at this point, but nonetheless, you expect players of this caliber to be able to make the right choices there with those guns, and I just don't think that that push was advised. He did get one. Maybe he thought he could open it up again and do something pretty special, as they didn't have any idea, but MPK was able to snuff it out pretty quick.
They will be going outside without a smoke here. Smith picks up the first frag. Almost takes a second as well. Has a third bite of the cherry, but unable to find the frag there. And I think, I'm not even too sure who was actually on the silo there. Gets away and lives to fight another day. So very nearly picking up 2 entry frags there and making EnVyUs' job quite difficult. And they will be setting themselves up here for an top side execute as Uppy K just sitting on top of the hut, playing from a very advantageous position now. That smoke gives him a little bit of cover, but Devil, who's eased his way into this team quite well now, actually, finds that frag. Kenny S, awkward mouse position, but makes the frag anyway, as they do exchange frags in this top site. Smith pops a grenade, and we do see EnVyUs try and wrestle control of the top site.
Yeah, they're wrestling control well. They've got 45 seconds to make up their minds now, and the bomb will go down. Kenny S spots out Scream. In the annex, he gets a double. Brilliant stuff there by Kenny, and he could get the third here. Apex able to finish off the job. But Kenny S just doing bulk work there with the AWP in hand. He moves right along to 7 and 2. He's been the second, I guess, the second piece for EnVyUs that's fired. Apex was on map 1, and he had a huge map, 40+ kills. One for the ages for him. Obviously, Kenny played second fiddle there. Devil started hot here, 11 and 2, but Kenny once again playing that second fiddle role, getting a lot of kills, doing a lot of damage, and playing well for his side. So that brings us to 4-1, Jim. The G2 guys back on Eco. Pretty familiar situation for them, to be honest, over the last couple of maps, as Apex will continue here to run in good form, getting Shocks to go down there, and Happy will just work his way on the outside rafter as well. MPK picks up Body. Pretty standard stuff here coming out from EnVyUs. They're just rolling out and getting the job done.
Yeah, using those rifles to great effect, and we will see them now roll into the top site there. That plant, just try and get some extra money going. Scream left to contend with 1v5, not able to do so. Happy picks him up as he drops out of heaven, says g'day, and pick up another round here for EnVyUs. We said the balance of power had shifted on this map in the recent updates, and that's quite evident here. G2 really struggling on their map pick early on, and you would have expected them to be able to put a little bit more together on this map. I mean, one would expect that they're quite confident on their T side, but they're still going to need more rounds than this on their CT side if they are going to close this one out.
I'm not sure that this map has really indicated to me that this map's got more of become more T-sided. I think that Team EnVyUs have just played it better. G2 have missed shots. We've seen them a couple of times take unfavourable duels, and they're just not making great choices on their CT side, rotating between choke points. So, although I do agree EnVyUs have got the rub of the green, so to speak, in the last couple of rounds, G2 Esports really need to tighten up their defense, and this top side is going to once again be tested, but that's a lot better. Shox and RPK open up, Scream gets the third kill for the round, and he should be able to do a lot of damage to the last player in the heart, and Kenny S goes down. That's a lot better there from the G2 boys.
That's a much tighter hold there from G2, as they do successfully defend top side from EnVyUs. Now just happy, 1 versus 4. Often finding him in these sorts of situations with role he plays in the team. Body slams him into the ground with that AWP, and we will see G2 pick up their second round. But look at that money that is starting to flow there on the G2, or should I say the EnVyUs money tree. Important round there for G2. They had 4 surviving members. We know it's difficult for the CT side economy to get going, and that's exactly what they needed there.
Well, they did, but you can see their money now. They're not going to have a whole pile if they can't get this one to go as well. Kenny S buys that AWP, and he's got a full complement of grenades right up to his Tech 9 as well, but it will be the first spawn getting out that door, and Devil's gone down, and he's taken the bomb with him, so that one's trickled out into topside, and that's maybe a costly error here for EnVyUs as they try and get out the Rams corridor, and Kenny S once again punishing one of the CTs for overcommitting. That was Smith's. We're drawn back into a 3 versus 3, but crucially, Jim, that bomb going down early is really going to hinder EnVyUs' chances.
It was. It seemed like a great idea at the time, but G2 are very now much aware of the fact that EnVyUs are going to put pressure, particularly on that spawn when they get it, on that door and on that vent. So Shox recognizing the fact he did get the bomb down there in the vent and will be defending it from a very awkward position, but now back to a 2 versus 3 situation. Does cop the grenade as well, so they're aware he might be there. Kenny S does try and take that duel, but he's eventually traded out there. Apex finding that frag. Back to a 1 versus 2. Happy up against Body with the help of Apex. Put him out, find that frag. EnVyUs pick up another round here and just continue to pile the hurt on G2. They are struggling at the moment, and their money situation isn't fantastic either, and then it's not going to afford them a full buy. The question is whether or not they go for this, and they are going to force into it.
Well, I think they have to at this point. They can't let EnVyUs risk another free round. They have to make them fight through everything at this point and make them earn every single round. EnVyUs on a roll here on their T side. It was all about that second round there for Devil. He picks up the team down with that P250, and all of a sudden it doesn't look so good as Kenny S picks up the AWP duel there onto Smiths, doing a great job for his side, using that dope scope to full effect. Shox is going to peek out, but Kenny S is just on fire right now. Happy does pick up one, and he's well aware of the ramps push here, so this could end poorly for Scream and Body, but Body does pick up Happy, so at least some silver lining, but it won't last very long. Apex locking onto Body, taking him down, and now Scream is going to be left licking his wounds, and he's going to retreat right back to where the terrorists started.
Now looking onto the head of Body. I think that's best way to put it.
Ironically, I guess so.
Ironically, that's the way it was, but not a lot Scream can do from this situation other than try and save this gun and try and converse with the truck. That's probably all he can do in this instance there. He is all alone, but EnVyUs, you're right, they are hitting all their shots. And when it's coming down to those aim duels, they are just far superior. G2, not really on par as they were in that first map train. So this is where they are starting to struggle a little bit. EnVyUs, it's not all just Apex doing the work here. They do spot Scream out, so he doesn't actually survive much longer than intended. And he will lose that AK. So G2 are really going to struggle on that money front. They did force into that last round, and you can see, not quite hard reset, but they're still going to have to eco this one out.
They certainly will, and that's going to be problematic for them because, potentially there could even be another eco after this. Otherwise, they're going to be forced with the same buy they just had, which was Famus's, low utility. It's not going to be ideal, so perhaps even a double here, or maybe a double and just a few pistols next round. Either way, very, very fast. Here as Kenny S once again opens up onto Smiths. I don't know how much longer you can hold on top of that crate for Smiths. I think Kenny's got your number there, mate, and Happy will roll around and try and get a couple there, but RPK responds. And, I mean, this is just Insane shot there from Kenny, predicting the window push from RPK. So Kenny S, a magnificent touch right now with that scope, and it's going to be an uphill battle from here on out for G2. It would seem, Jim.
There's not a lot you can do. Kenny S is in the front form at all as Apex picks up Scream after being down to 1 HP. But EnVyUs are just hitting their shots. They're not really doing anything tactically superior. They're just simply sending Happy on his preferred lurk role. Yep. And the rest of the team are just grouping up quite well. Kenny S hitting those shots. They're not even executing with any smokes outside. They're simply just taking those aim drills and confident in doing so. And that's really the difference between the two teams at the moment. Interested to see how G2 can actually turn that around. I think they need to be a little bit more wary of the fact that EnVyUs aren't doing anything particular. They can just string together some decent CT team play here and simply stop the aggression coming out from EnVyUs.
They certainly can, but that would be dependent on Kenny S missing something. And he doesn't seem too keen on that right now. He seems pretty keen on getting that scope exactly where it needs to be. RPK dancing around on the top of the hut. He's making plenty of noise, but not too concerning there for the EnVyUs fellows as they're just holding on strong here, waiting for the push, which will come through the ramps. But Body picks up an angle and gets the bomb down, so that could be crucial. But they have nothing's committed yet. Great flash there from Body, and he's allowed to rotate through. Body will go down, but his job has been done to a point. Unfortunately for RPK, he'll go down to Happy, and once again, it looks as though G2 guys have been exposed, but Smiths with this bomb down. Now 1 versus 1, Jim. Happy making his way towards ramps, but Smiths allowing the bomb to maybe be collected. Sees that Molotov, and it's going to be tough for Smiths here to regain control of this round.
That's right, and now he is going to make his way towards events. In, I guess, map versions gone by, that actually was a really smart place to play from as a CT, but now with the rotations limited on only one side, he does outsmart his opposition there in Happy. So it did prove to be the right play in that instance, and it would have allowed him a lot of information. But look, that's a round that G2 needed. They took a lot of heavy losses though, and you can see their money is still quite low. Coming down to that 1 versus 1 really didn't help G2. But EnVyUs surely have recognised this. Their money is quite plentiful and will be buying into it quite readily. Lacking a lot of utility though, G2. That might come back to bite them.
Especially at the pace that EnVyUs is playing at, Jim. They're playing very slow and methodical, although this is going to be a topside push. Once again, Kenny coming third out the hut, and he's going to try and find one. Although RPK has just dropped down and got a double, so Apex needs to respond, and does. Happy 2 versus 1. And the quick plan's going to come down here from Apex as well, so taking no time in getting that bomb down, the terrorist. And of course, a couple of jewels to be had here. Happy does pick up one, and all of a sudden, this round that was very much in favour of the CTs is switching around. And Happy's once again found himself in a 1 versus 1, except this time it's a lot more favourable. Shox only on 8 HP, but great grenade work there from Shox, forcing out the kill. And Happy will go down there. Shox grabs the AK, jumps on the bomb, gets it done. Great piece of play there from Shox, but Happy inexplicably just sort of ran out at Shox. He got flashed and didn't know if he was on the bomb or not.
No, it really wasn't no information play there. That smoke didn't make things easy at all for him. So great play there from Shox in the end. But look, right read there from EnVyUs. It always gets awkward though when you get out the hut into the top site there and seemingly just stall. I think that's exactly what happened to EnVyUs in that instance there. Great famous work there on top of the hut that really shut them down. And we do see EnVyUs finally lose around there. The change of pace was the right call though.
Absolutely was. Absolutely was. It doesn't go their way, but once again, G2 unable to really accumulate any sort of economy at all. Going right down to the wire doesn't help them in the slightest. Apex will find the head of Scream, so that's a great start there for EnVyUs, and they'll continue this roll on down into the underneath bomb site B, and Apex here scoping everything out. He's moving swiftly through the lower corridors, so once again, EnVyUs, a very decisive maneuver, Jim, and the pace has been great as Kenny S finds Shox through the back of the vents, and now the terrorists have appear to have run roughshod over this underside bomb site, but everything is going their way. RPK does pick up one, Body picks up one as well, so not out of it yet, but the terrorists well in control, Jim.
They are, and RPK catching someone unaware was happy, I believe. So 3 versus 3 retake coming out. RPK coming through the vents there. They will come through Megaton as well, but Kenny S holding a fantastic line through that orange door. Picks up Smiths. Great work from Devil picking up the next. And they do successfully defend that bomb plant there. Difficult site to actually retake now underneath, whereas it used to be quite limiting in its options for the terrorists in those post-plant positions. The addition of the door and the addition of that second toxic room make things very, very hairy for the CTs coming into the retake.
So we've got G2 buying up here, Jim. There's 2 rounds to go, and they were, of course, going to be choosing between 1 eco and 1 crappy pistol buy or 2 crappy pistol buys. So they've gone for the 2 pistol buy option, in which they all have...
Why not?
They've all bought head armor, which I find a little bit weird in this sense. Maybe an extra grenade could have been used there in expectation that the opposite side had AKs. So maybe a little bit of a misuse of the money there, but nevertheless, they're going to try and open this one up, and it will be Shocks finding Apex. So Danger Man for EnVyUs goes down, and a 4 versus 4 will ensue here, but MBK opens up onto RPK and gets his way into the race.
Continuing that headshot machine form as they do make their way through now. Devil just cleans up the rest there. Janitor duties for him in T lobby. EnVyUs pick up their 10th round and not really too troubled by that eco from G2. And, well, it was a pistol buy, sorry, not an eco, but as you said, 2 crappy pistol buys back to back here. We'll see them now on the last round of the half. Not a lot of utility either to burn. There are some deagles across the board. We know how potent that French deagle can be, so EnVyUs need to tiptoe their way around this quite carefully. But as expected, using the distance of those rifles outside, Apex picks out 1, looking for the second. Not able to find it just yet, but finds refuge behind the red box as we now see a little bit of a battle for territory here. Although the rifles will win out, Apex picks up the second, RPK goes down. Smith finds a reply there onto Happy, finds a second as well. Apex eventually falls, as we will see G2 narrow it back down to a 3 versus 3.
Yeah, they've done a great job so far, G2, of making those pistols work, but so much left to be done here. Team EnVyUs in the last round of the half with 3 very much upgraded weapons compared to what G2 are dealing with. 2 pistols and an AK now on Body with a kit. So hope is here for the CTs, but Body needs to be the one doing the heavy lifting as Kenny S wheels between the Annex and the ladder, trying to find the kill. Smith pre-firing the crate, nobody's home, but he does drop down. Devil doing some great work there. That'll be 11-4. The half goes to EnVyUs and G2. Well, the pistol round is going to be very important to both sides in every match. I understand that, but in this particular matchup on these sides, the pistol really has to go the way of G2.
Well, that's right, particularly because the scoreline is so lopsided. And G2 struggled a little bit on the CT side to string things together. So for them, at least G2, they're going to put a lot riding on this pistol.
Yep.
And as one might expect, I'm going to go out on a limb and say G2, we're going to be a little bit more structured on the T side. So they're going to have at least that to fall back on. That being said, though, EnVyUs are the ones right now are the ones that are hitting their shots.
Yeah,
so
I don't think that G2 will be able to use outside because Kenny's on, which is a problem because the AWP's going to be there neutralizing whatever advantage G2 might get from outside. So they're going to have their grenades and timings on point. But that is what you pointed out on train. They did have those executes and timings on point. So we could be in for a pretty epic battle. I just really struggle to see how you're going to stop Kenny S doing his thing with the AWP.
It is difficult too because on CT side, when he does get that AWP in his hands, there are plenty of angles for the CTs to actually hold from.
Yeah.
So whilst they might have some set executes with the smokes, they're going to really need to make sure that there are no gaps in those smokes because Kenny S is the kind of player that will actually find those gaps and punish you for them. So they really need to make sure that what they're putting out in terms of execution is on point. Otherwise, they are going to find themselves picked apart. So it will really limit their options as a T side if they aren't able to take outside. As you can see, EnVyUs did a really good job of making outside their own. And from then, it almost leaves a nervous tension in the holding CT side
Yep.
because they're not always too sure whether or not to watch their back, particularly if they don't have information as to how aggressive the T's have been with their outside territory. So outside is going to definitely be a key part of this battle.
Yep.
And yeah, I guess it just depends on how aggressive G2 are going to be with their territory taking.
Well, I mean, we saw the EnVyUs guys do a great job of mixing up where their pace was directed. They did have ramps control. They sent Kenny S down the vent a couple of times, maybe 2 or 3 times during the half, or someone down the vent. Famously, the Kenny S bomb plant led to the double team down with the P250. But, you know, they did a great job mixing their paces up at different areas of the map, outside ramps and topside. But what I liked most about the EnVyUs T-side was their ability to move around, you know, the AWP. Was move around the AWP on Kenny S, get him a pick at ramps, or get him a pick at outside, or get him a pick coming out of the hut. And I think on the CT side, they need to do the same thing. It gives them a lot of scope to go ramps with the AWP and then AWP from top side up the ladder, because since the new Nuke has come out, the new Nuke, you can see straight from the top of the ladder into the hut, deep into the hut. So that gives him another angle to work with. But of course, G2 here are going to put all the pressure on EnVyUs trying to come away with this T-side round, and they're going to work heavily towards ramps at the moment.
And almost immediately they fall straight underneath to EnVyUs. So they're going to plan to hold this. You can see Happy. He's relying on the information coming up from Devil. Devil will spot them out and surrender his position now at ramps, and EnVyUs are going to take a little bit of a retake approach to this round as we see MBK put under pressure. Are they going to stream up the ladder at him, kamikaze style? Shox is picking up the frags. They rotate through the upper bomb site, and MBK does fall. So you can see G2 have done a little bit of around the world and actually picked up top side control in the process. Devil, though, will start to mount this retake there. Just drops body, 2 shots. Does find a second one as Scream now picks up Devil. Happy, though, does actually catch Scream by surprise, and the second frag as well. Great retake there from EnVyUs in the end. And G2, despite a promising start to that round, have actually dropped the pistol. So we said it was going to be really important from a G2 perspective to grind that one out. They haven't been able to do so.
No, but it was through the brilliance of Devil there, retaking that top side, bomb side. He gets 1 kill up the rafters there, and then a second kill, and it's just, it's one of those moments if you're G2, you sort of, you're like, oh, we had that, but did we lose it because of bad play, or did that guy just come in and wreck us? And I think in that instance, Devil was just able to come in and hit some really gnarly headshots and get the job done. Yeah,
fantastic work from him, and it created that uncertainty too, because it drew the attention of G2 away from ladder base and allowed Happy to lurk in and get those 2 frags. So that's where it all fell apart for G2. And you can see Devil playing very aggressive here at ramps with that Mag 7, the Swag 7. Just trying to farm some money as we see G2 very much grouped up in that radio room, now in T lobby, just looking to see whether or not there's any CT aggression coming out.
Not right now, although Apex does spot 1 out, spots 2 out, gets the bomb, can he get the 3rd? The spray transfer doesn't connect for him, but he's done so much damage. And now the bomb is down, and NES using that M4 and the height advantage to good effect himself. The CT is able to lock that one down pretty nicely, and they'll move on to 13. Now, for G2, they're going to be between a rock and a hard place from now on. I mean, they're already behind the 8 ball significantly, but at the moment, they're going to have to full eco, try and get the bomb down, and then go for one last roll of the dice.
Well, as I suspected, they were going to be a team that relied on their execute, so they really need to make sure that their money management was on point. We see now Scream trying to make his way through the hut, not able to pick up the frag. Kenny S actually picks up a triple outside. Unfortunately, we missed most of that, but you would expect with the form that he's in, did it quite effortlessly as well. So G2 completely shut down. As expected, they're buying into this round with AKs and full utility. Expect them to be a little bit more execute heavy than their French counterparts in EnVyUs.
Yeah, it was just an eco round there. Kenny S picking up a triple, so you didn't really miss much in terms of like the history of Counter-Strike. What an amazing triple kill. But it does make you think to yourself how spoiled we are for the skill level where you can just miss a triple headshot and think, oh, it was an eco round, don't worry about it. But these guys put on just such an amazing display of skill, and that will be continued from Kenny S as he picks up the first one and looks to move his team towards match point. Picks up one. That's an excellent change of angles there from Kenny, snapping to the head of Scream through the grill, and now Happy will pick up the bomb, and the last kill will go to MPK. We don't even have enough time to rattle all the kills off before the round ends itself, and EnVyUs look to take this series 2-0 over arch rivals G2, but more impressively.
And I'm left wondering, G2 spent all that time ecoing, getting themselves that utility, and seemingly used none of it after running into the meat grinder outside. They were just simply picked apart by EnVyUs there. So, I mean, something in the mix has gone completely wrong for G2.
Yeah, it's an odd situation, but they're going to try hold on to this one for a ramp push. That'll be one kill. Bloody make that two. Ooh. Excellent 180 there, and that's caused problems here for EnVyUs, as Shox also picks one up. So it's a 3 versus 1 now for Kenny S. If you want someone alive right now, it probably is Kenny S in this situation. And he will pick up Shox there almost instantly, and hear the plant go down in the under bomb site very, very shortly. It will be Kenny dropping through the vent. He's going to take the back aisles first of all, going towards that door side of underneath, and Body needs to be very, very careful here. He cannot open that door. Scream eagerly waits for the counter-terrorist to make his way towards the bomb, but right now Kenny S is just stalking his prey, working out where these 2 kills will come from, and Scream says, look over here, mate, and takes him down.
I'm not sure that's exactly what he said, but we'll run with that.
I'm fairly certain that he could have said the French equivalent of, g'day, over here, mate. I don't know what that is.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Yeah, something along those lines.
I'm not too fluent in traditional French. I do know other forms of French.
Well, we're not even fluent in traditional English. We speak Australian.
It's true, Australia.
Australia.
But match point here for EnVyUs. You can see G2 finally have some AKs to boot. They are going to try and take a slower approach this round, not really taking too much map territory outside either. They're very cautious, in fact. Very cautious. EnVyUs, on the other hand, also quite satisfied to sit back and let G2 try and bring the fight to them.
Well, G2 haven't actually proven to EnVyUs that their quote-unquote really strong bomb site takes are effective. For me, it's been about Kenny S and his ability to move around and get so many kills. Apex also contributing, and that's a lot of damage done to himself. And it will be Kenny S trying to save the day here. He fires off an AWP shot, but the ramps rotation will come in from G2, and it'll all be on Devil to try and make this work, but he's been caught off guard. He does spot one out now, but that spray is good. There is someone hiding at the back boxes of ramps, though. This could be huge. Someone is just hiding, lying in wait, but Happy only manages one before RPK gets it.
Yeah, Happy there at the old A-Medi spot. Not able to use that one to full effect now, but you can see EnVyUs are going to retake this lower bomb site before the bomb has even been planted, but Body is just picking them apart, and EnVyUs committing themselves way too quickly to that one there. Picks up the triple as well, so great work from him, and picks up his 69th frag on that stat track AK.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done here for G2. I mean, you do see how effective they can be, and easily winning that round and outmaneuvering their opponents significantly. But for me, they've left it too late. There wasn't enough on the CT side, not enough adaptations were made quickly enough to the brutal outside pushing of EnVyUs. Not enough attention to that outside side, and now it will be G2's turn to try and abuse their counterparts. And EnVyUs have said, okay, we take this challenge on. We're not going to have so much utility here. No warp on Kenny S, just the shotgun on Devil, and no kits at all. So EnVyUs trying to close this one out here with the clean sweep with the frags, Jim.
But they are, and you can see G2 are very, very cautious. That one smoke sent RPK into a very defensive position there, along with Body as well. So it's allowed Happy to actually get himself into position there at Secret. So the smokes here executing as you would expect from G2. Finally, they get that utility usage down. And that forces EnVyUs into more defensive positions, but they need to be very, very swift in the way that they make their mind, because those smokes are fading.
They certainly are, but Scream's in a great position here to make a play. MBK's opening up the account well, but look at Scream. He's unleashed himself on the outside rafter, and he's going to get all the way around. RPK gets a crucial frag onto Kenny S as well. Apex does get one, but it'll all be a fruitless endeavor, I feel, as Body and also Scream are in position. But Body's turning around just the wrong time. The timing there for Happy is so fantastic. Body just getting really unlucky there as he turns around, and that could end up costing his team the game, and I think it has. It definitely has, Jim. It is all over, and EnVyUs able to comfortably take the G2 map pick of Nuke, and it has worked out for the boys in EnVyUs, and they come 2-0 winners over G2.
Yeah, and in the end, it didn't quite live up to I guess what we thought it would have after that close train encounter, that that Envy pick on train. And when you compare the two maps, it was almost like apples and oranges.
Yeah.
G2 completely outclassed, particularly in the aim department, despite relying a little bit more on those set executes, weren't able to really hit the shots that they needed to.
That's right.
In the end, and you could see G2, unfortunately, were completely outclassed on Nuke, their map pick.
Yeah, and I mean, we were struggling to think about how they'd shut Kennius down, and they couldn't. His ability to maneuver himself around the map within the confines of their very organized team structure, he appears to play within, I guess, his role, but with incredible freedom and incredible skill. And when that happens, it's difficult to shut down, and that's why EnVyUs were able to get up 2-0.
That's right. So, class showing there from EnVyUs. We said that these
Absolutely.
teams sometimes had struggled a little bit with their consistency, but it was definitely G2 in that instance that struggled to put in a consistent performance over two maps. So
Indeed.
EnVyUs very much warming into that encounter, but I believe we might be cutting to a small ad break. That was the first matchup in today's schedule. We will be bringing you the next matchup, which is, of course, Virtus Pro up against Team X. So the X-SK lineup, if you aren't familiar with them.
That Modi factor.
The Modi factor. And they've been playing quite well, actually.
Modi
taking down some big names in
Yep.
some other competitions, of course. And we'll be interested to see how they actually put it into place here in the ESL Pro League.
Yep.
This is Matchday 5. We're in Season 4. I've been Jim and Esso. Joining me has been PDG. Guys, we'll be back after this very, very short break.
He's going to get the one.